to my full stack React app project. Here I'll just be giving you a basic rundown on how my app came together and the code behind it and how it works. So first we see in my index.css file, this just controls all the styling within my pages and is imported in my app.javascript. For example, stuff like page color, input boxes, submit buttons are all dealt with here. So obviously it's imported in my app.javascript. Here, I just tried grouping them just for presentation reasons, and it made it easier to kind of test and debug. So here we just have some imports. We have the import that have different lists, so cohort list, degree list, etc. Forming imports, so form degree, form student, and then the single imports, single cohorts, single degree, single module, etc. Below we can just see the different routers. All these routers come together in the navbar, which is in navbar.jsx. This navbar is just a basic navbar gotten from React Bootstrap, and each link opens a component that represents to a new page. So if we go to degrees, so my all pages, so all degree, they're all very similar, so all cohorts, all degree, all modules. Each component displays a list of data using the use effect here. The data is fetched from the API with this. It loads an error, and then the loading is just a boolean which checks the API. So set loading is set to true. This means it sends a GET request to the API endpoint using fetch. Retrieves response. It retrieves the response using this response.json here. And if an error occurs, it then sends an error message, just a basic error message with this here. Regardless of outcome, loading is set to false. So regardless of wherever the outcome is, the loading is set to false here. As you can see, set loading false. It is the display data function checks if there's an error. If not, it displays the data. It uses the map method to iterate through the degrees. And this is the same in all pages. So all modules, all cohorts, they're identical, just obviously would then produce different API endpoints. So as you can see, all degrees, all modules, and all cohorts, they're all very similar, just different API endpoints. So now for all my single pages, so if we go to single degrees, it contains pretty much the same, but it contains a form that allows user input. And when view is clicked, so if we go to here, so when this view is clicked here, it sends a request to the API endpoint, which can vary based on what the input is. This use effect remains the same unless there's an endpoint with an updated variable. So for example, if we test out here, so this already, you can only kind of use capital letters, as you can see here. So even if I type with small letters, it comes up as caps. So comsci, we can view that degree. We can see comsci 1, 2, 3, and 4. Whereas if I just put something that's not actually on the back end, the degree is not found. That's kind of the same with single degree and single module, but my single student is a little different. However, it has two endpoints. So this endpoint here gets the student information, and this endpoint here gets the student grades. So that's just kind of the main difference between the student page and the module and cohort pages. So for my form pages, so if we go to form degree, this form degree, we see here, there should be a set degree function somewhere here. set new degree. Let me just here. No, this set new degree here. It takes the previous state and it then updates it with the correct value pair. This handle submit function, once triggered, it's triggered when the user submits a form, and it performs basic error checking on input fields. And it then, this return function here is also very crucial, as it just gives different input fields. And so if we show that here, so the degree, so this is where it comes to life. So if we create a new degree now, and we call this test, and we just give it a short code T. Obviously this is the error checking here. So test one, T, degree, the short code already exists. T, okay, so we just give it M, right? So the degree is successfully created. So if we then go to all degrees, obviously this was one I tried myself and I was trying to run, and this is just the new one that we just created there. Now if we go to the add grade, this is kind of a separate page on its own. This is see it in students. So module, so let's say I want to add a grade to a student. I can go just look for the module. So let me just say CA112. We give them a CA mark of 89, an exam mark of 78, cohorts ComSci 1, and say total grade of 84, student ID 20560794, and then the grade is added successfully. So if we then go to degree, if we then go to select degree, ComSci 1, view the, ComSci, we can see all the degrees here. And yeah, that's just the basic kind of, as you can see here, you can create a student, you can add the cohorts, degrees, create, all, select, very similar here. And that's everything. So this is just kind of a basic rundown on how a basic kind of university kind of React app would work. It obviously was built using React, and that would just be the front end to this university REST API, which was acted as the back end for this project. And yeah, thank you for watching.